This is way better than we all initially thought. As recently, a major move in the NFL happened that is going to have a huge impact on the New York Jets and their future, specifically how it pertains to superstar Sauce Gardner and his incoming contract extension with the New York Jets that is going to happen imminently, and we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. Yes, I said Knicks Digest because I'm wearing a Knicks hoodie and also because I got it wrong. Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And guys, if you're part of that 73% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe because, guys, I'm going to blame that for the reason why I accidentally said Knicks Digest. But I didn't restart the video. I'm not a quitter. Let's jump into this, though. Let's seriously talk about football because, as we all know, the extension upcoming to Sauce Gardner is one of the biggest storylines surrounding the New York Jets. Obviously, it is. Sauce had a historic start to his NFL career, and even this last season, considered a down year for the superstar cornerback, he was still one of the best corners in the NFL. And you can kind of attest the fact that you look at the New York Jets entirely. Last year was the weirdest year of any of their players' careers. I mean, putting aside the fact that you had Hassan Reddick, a key part of your defense, sitting out for that contract extension, and the fact that when the Jets were 2-3 and a game out of the first seed, they fired Robert Saleh because Woody Johnson needed a scapegoat for why the Jets weren't 4-1 at that point, even though the scapegoat was Greg Zuerlein, but we all know that, and that's beside the point. However, I don't really take much stock in the fact that Sauce Gardner had a down year with the New York Jets. He's proving to be a guy who very likely could finish his NFL career as the greatest cornerback of all time. And, well, we've heard a lot about his contract, and obviously we have, because just with Darren Mougey and what he's going to have to do upcoming with both Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson makes you wonder about the future, specifically when other guys are getting extensions. I mean, we saw the Cincinnati Bengals give Jamar Chase the most money any player has ever gotten who's not a quarterback. So we've seen that. We've seen a bunch of extensions, and most notably recently, we saw Derek Stingley get extended by the Houston Texans in a move that completely reset the corner market, as Stingley drafted one pick before Sauce Gardner in 2022, the third overall pick, who I actually wanted on the Jets. He was my pick. Well, he's been awesome to the start of his NFL career. I stand by. Not as good as Sauce Gardner. Yes, he had a better season last year. Sauce Gardner's still the better player. I'll stand on it. And Sauce Gardner's definitely going to get more money paid to him because of all the accolades that he's racked up at this point of his career. But Stingley getting that 3-year contract worth $90 million in total, getting $30 million per year. He's now the highest paid cornerback of all time, highest paid defensive back of all time. And we all know that Sauce Gardner is going to hold that claim very, very soon, and the Jets waited a little bit too long, and now they're going to have to pay him a little bit more, as we all know. And if you look just at the numbers of Sauce Gardner, you see it there. I mean, he's a two-time Pro Bowler, two-time All-Pro first team. Truly just one of the best players in football. I mean, first year as an NFL player, was the best cornerback in the league that year. Passes defended highest of any cornerback in the NFL. The man was awesome. And then last year, as good, usual Sauce Gardner stuff. And then 2024 took a slight dip, but also he was playing on an injury for a little bit, which is important to note here. And again, that Jets season was just straight up very, very weird. So I don't take much stock into that. Meanwhile, you look at a guy in Derek Stingley, who was All-Pro first team this year, unlike Gardner. And though he dealt with injuries in the first two seasons of his NFL career, he got it together this year. And similar to last year, had 5 interceptions. The man is an interception king, the way that Gardner is not. And yeah, that's going to make a lot of the casual eye be like, oh, well, that Stingley's obviously the better player and all that. I mean, again, I disagree. Am I biased? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not biased towards the Jets. But you look at the way that these two's careers are going. I'm obviously picking Sauce, and everyone else is too, who understands football. But besides the point, the comments are upsetting me, clearly. They're clearly getting to me, man. No, but I mean, you look at Stingley, he deserves one of the biggest contracts for a defensive back. He's freaking phenomenal, dude. He's awesome. So, makes total sense to me. But still, you look at everything here. You look at the top names. Derek Stingley, J.C. Horn, 2 guys who each got extensions, each deserving of these massive extensions. Jalen Ramsey signed his extension this year, was the highest paid corner for a little bit. Pat Surtain, best corner in the NFL, and, well, frankly, 4th highest paid player, but should be the highest if we're just going off sheer talent. Jair Alexander, AJ Terrell, Denzel Ward, Marshawn Lattimore, Marlon Humphrey, Trayvon Diggs, all these guys who are getting big money, the 10 biggest cornerback contracts in the NFL. And Sauce is just going to have higher, whether it's It's going to be above 30 million, whether it's 31 million, 33 million. I don't think it'll be more than 33, but he is hovering around that zone of getting paid 33 million per year with the New York Jets. However, an NFL analyst did put things into shocking perspective, which shows that things are a lot better for the Jets than meets the eye, as Wendell Ferreira mentioned that when a player signs an extension, agents inform what's called new money. It's a part of the contract in terms of salaries and years that didn't exist. So Stingley's extension is a 3-year, $90 million contract in this sense, and his average would be $30 million per season. However, this is an addition to what Stingley already had. He was slated to make $5.431 million in 2025 and $17.595 million in 2026 via the 5th-year option that obviously would be picked up. On top of this, you then look at combining everything. It's actually a 5-year, $113 million contract. The real average, what the Texans will truly have to account for, is $22.6 million per year. It sounds much higher than it actually is, and that's what's going to happen with Sauce Gardner as well. And looking at this, Ferreira mentioned that Gardner has a slightly lower salary in 2025 of $5.266 million, but a higher 5th-year option at $20.186 million because he's been to multiple Pro Bowls throughout his NFL career. And just to be clear, the reason it is a little bit lower is the 3rd, 4th pick thing. The higher you're drafted, the more money you get paid on your rookie deal. It's just how it is. It's across the board in every sport. Maybe not baseball. Baseball, I'm going to be honest, I genuinely don't know because the MLB draft is so weird. It's in the middle of the season. The players sometimes literally don't play for 5-6 years, so it's complicated, man. And I don't follow hockey, so I wouldn't know about that. But in both the NBA and the NFL, you look at every top pick, they're getting paid more money, and it just keeps depreciating, which makes sense to me. But look, where Sauce is, being the multi-time Pro Bowl player, the accolades have led up to now he'd be making around $20 million in that 5th-year option. Obviously, though, Sauce Gardner, he's going to have a contract well before that 5th-year option. It's expected that the Jets are going to sign Sauce Gardner to a contract over this offseason or sometime around this time. Before next season begins, Gardner's not even going to have to worry about it. He's going to come in. He's going to sign the extension. He wants to sign an extension. He's been very open about the fact that he does want to spend his career with the Jets, and he wants to be a part of that Jets team that makes the playoffs, and it's something that really matters to him and to who he is as a person. And, I mean, it reflects very well on everything that Aaron Glenn has said about, we want you here if you want to be here. And, I mean, Sauce Gardner, this could not be more perfect coach from an Aaron Glenn, a guy who, frankly, just was one of the better Jets cornerbacks in history and now comes back to coach a man who, I'm not going to say is the best because he's not. It's obviously Darrelle Revis, but a man who, for the first time ever, we've seen a guy who we could say, wow, this guy is at Revis's level / could be better than Darrelle Revis when it's all said and done, depending on how the career goes. Also, the success rates and everything. So Gardner's in great position to stay with the Jets, and the Jets are going to do whatever it takes to keep him around. They understand the importance of a guy like Sauce Gardner because everyone could. So as Ferrer mentions, this all means that it's hard to avoid the fact that the player who comes later will get a bigger contract. Let's say the Jets give Sauce a 3-year, $93 million extension. It would elevate the cornerback market to $31 million per season, but that's not exactly what the Jets would account for. Considering the final year of his rookie deal and the 5th-year option plus the extension, Gardner would play under a 5-year, $118 million contract. It's $23.6 million per season. So it does make it a lot easier on the New York Jets. So when a lot of fans are thinking about the cap hits and stuff, this is something that has to be mentioned. So shout out to Wendell Ferreira for bringing this up. Happy to make this video. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Jets.